So you returned back to Devon and you opened up your own shop. What were some
Yeah.
of the challenges with that?
Opening a month before a global financial meltdown was the main challenge. I opened in the August and everything started falling apart in the September. I was lucky. Exeter is a very small town. I mean, it's a city. We call it a town. I'm proper local, but it's a very small town. And I opened a lovely little shopping street just outside the main city centre. My landlord was super helpful and friendly. And I was, 27. And it didn't feel intimidating. It felt easy. So that was wonderful. I think if I had to go straight into a big corporate run high street store, it would have been much more intimidating. But yeah, I mean, the biggest issue was just what happened with the world. So almost immediately it became, remember the credit crunch? It became very hard to borrow any money in order to expand the business. So I had to do everything out of cash flow. So I just had to be very careful and considered with how I ran the business, because of securing a loan at any sort of reasonable interest rate just suddenly became impossible. And we also know now that it's much harder to secure any sort of loan as a female business person. So, they've done research recently. You're far less likely to be offered credit as a woman in business than you are as a man. So the world still needs to catch up with a lot.
I remember I was actually quite literally 8 when the 2008, yeah.
Oh, thanks for aging me.
So I only just heard it briefly on the news when I think my guardians had the TV on, so I didn't really quite understand. Oh, everything's going crashing. I was like, Matt? So your landlord helped with that. How was the cash flow assisting with keeping the shop alive? Because I've done through various books I've read, or I think 2, where housing collapsed, people lost their savings, everything fell apart. How did you pull through it really with all that going on?
I think frugality runs in my veins. I don't come from a wealthy family at all. So I think I was used to not overspending. I'm very, very handy. So I kitted the shop out myself. I decorated it myself. I made my own display cabinets. Lots of little things helped keep the expenditure of opening the shop really, really low. And then just not drawing too much from the business, not exhausting the business, so that, I had to immediately register for VAT, which I didn't think I'd have to do in my first year of trading, but I turned over so much money in the first 6 months, I had to immediately register for that. And just making sure that there's all, you can't make HMRC wait. You can juggle a lot of balls and spin a lot of plates, but HMRC don't like waiting for their money. So it was just all about keeping a really weather eye on the bank account and always making sure there's enough money in there to pay the next bill. Your salary is always the thing that suffers, but it was worth it, because by holding back and keeping something in the tank, when I decided to move to a bigger premises, the money was there to do it. When I decided to invest much more equipment in the workshop, the money was there to do it. So it was the best way to grow a business, which was just slowly and carefully.